Dehena dehino rajan deha deho abhijayate bijadeva yatha bijam dehi artha eva shashvataha. As from one seed another seed is generated, O king, so from one body, the body of the father, through the body of the mother, the third body is generated, the body of the son. As the elements of the material body are eternal, the living entity who appears through these material elements is also eternal. Just imagine, this is so reasonable. Somebody is in a great pain, like the king Chitraketu. What consolation can modern science offer? There was once, I remember, when this the scientists started developing, they said we are nothing but space-time worm. And when somebody died, he sent him a letter, we are nothing but space-time worm. Why you are feeling sad? How does it make sense? We cannot understand anything. Very funny. But this is so reasonable. This understanding is very, very clear. That the material, what we see in this world is split into two parts. First, Krishna says, Bhumi apo analo vayu kammano buddhi evacha ahankara itiyam me vinna prakriti ashtada. Clearly the discrimination is made into 8 elements. Out of that we only know the first 4. We don't even know the 5th. We know Bhumi, earth. We know water, fire, air. We don't know what is even ether. And then there are 3 elements, which is mind, intelligence, false ego. They're not been studied. What they have been studying is only brain, in the name of mind. But mind is different from the brain. Correct? And then intelligence, which is another department, another energy, which is independent of this brain. They try some kind of medicine that cannot act on mind. Mind is another energy. You need a subtle, just like we chant Hare Krishna mantra. It is not only subtle, it is spiritual. It acts on the body. When you chant Hare Krishna, it's auspicious even for the body. It acts for the mind. It purifies the mind and it awakens the soul. It is said that when we take to any process of Krishna consciousness, Punya Shavana Kirtana, Shanavatam Sakata Krishna, Punya Shavana Kirtana is very auspicious even for the body. All auspicious things will happen. Correct? Shanavatam Sakata Krishna, Punya Shavana Kirtana, Hridantastu Yabhadrani Vidunoti Soha Sata. Krishna, being the well-wisher, every living entity, removes all the unwanted desires from the mind. Desires are not in the brain. They are in the mind. Brain is just like a hardware you can use. The software is not the brain. Software is the mind. As far as I can understand and give a proper understanding. And life after life, what happens? This software is strained. This is a total mistake done by the modern science. A disaster. What is not understood is that the DNA only constitutes our body. It does not constitute the mind. Mind is separate. One side, the body is constructed based on DNA, but the mind comes through 80 lakh forms of training. It goes through so many living entities, but the mind is trained. You got it? And then you come to the human form of life. Therefore, the Vedanta Sutra begins with the instruction, Atata Brahma Jigyasa. Now you are in human form of life. Ataha. Therefore, Brahma Jigyasa. You should inquire about absolute truth. Athato, ataha, Brahma Jigyasa. Now you come to human form of life. Ataha, therefore, Brahma Jigyasa. Somebody therefore very nicely said, that's the only book which begins with therefore. All the books end with therefore. Why? Because he already had 80 lakh forms of training already. Therefore, that is not being taught. You are made to experience. But anyway, the lesson was through experience. And now you got a capacity to hear. It is not that an animal is cannot hear. He is not in a position. It's not that Krishna is not kind to the animals. That soul is not in a position. Same case now. The Chitriketu, 1 year ago or whatever time before, when the child was, when Angira Rishi came to Chitriketu, Chitriketu was so obsessed with the thing, I want a child, I want a child, I want a child. He did not instruct him. Why? He is not ready. The same way animal is not ready for instruction. You understand? Some desire is preoccupied in his heart. He cannot take instruction. But in human form of life, actually these desires have been given ample. They don't know to discuss eating, sleeping, mating. These all are supplied ample. Ample means you cannot imagine how it is supplied. Abundance it is supplied. Correct? A bird goes to the top of the tree, it can 1,000 fruits to eat. How much it wants to eat? Eating. Sleeping. Correct? We don't have such facility. And some birds can eat, some animals can eat whole day. Goats, cows, whole day they eat. Sleeping, some animals can hibernate for months. Mating, some birds can do hundreds of times in a day. And defending, when there is a danger, birds fly away. You are stuck. You are stuck. That's why they have the problem when they say that everything will be in trouble, disaster, but the birds are very difficult. They will save themselves. They can go miles away. Correct? Suppose they are planning, suppose there is this kind of problem, there are so many disaster problems. What survives the birds? Scientifically. Suppose some disaster happens, earthquake happens, this happens. Safest is the bird. It flies away. Correct? Tick, 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 it will fly away. Those who are on the ground, we are stuck. One building will fall on your head, another building will fall on somebody's head. So defense, you can't say you are the most safest. And another thing is that two-legged animals, they run slowest. Four-legged animals run fastest. Suppose you're in a forest, a tiger is running, you will be the slowest. All animals will run away faster. So whatever 4 legs give you double the speed, 4-wheel drive. Tuck, 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 they run away. So now the situation is therefore what? That all these 4 facilities are given amply, abundantly to the animals. But when you come to human form of life, this all is over. So human form of life, there is an opportunity to hear. So but for that to come, 80 lakh forms are needed. See, everything is, there is nothing redundant in Krishna's design. Why did Krishna has to design this so many animal, birds, forms? Sometimes one kida is going like this. So many things you see, nothing is redundant. You cannot find one mistake in Krishna's creation. Everything is perfect. Therefore Krishna is wonderful actor. What is Krishna? Wonderful actor. Each species has a particular kind of experiential learning for the soul which is needed, so that he can hear Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Otherwise he cannot hear Athata Brahma Jigyasa. No. Therefore those who are in the human form of life, they should know opportunity is there. Any condition you are in, you have an opportunity. Why? You have the power, you have the capacity to reject sense gratification and start spiritual life. You have the power. Why? Experience is already there. Correct? Now you want to again and again, you are wasting your life. Say, no, I want to eat little more. I'll take to spiritual life. Let me eat nicely. I want to sleep nicely. Then I'll take to spiritual life. Let me few days just sleep 20 hours. I want to mate nicely. Then I will take to spiritual life. You do whatever you want. Already you have the power. You don't have to wait. See, this instruction that Athata Brahma Jigyasa, Krishna is not giving to an animal because he does not have that power. His mind is still strong, material desire is there, so there is no need to talk to him now. Correct? Sometimes. But any human being, you can talk. And what the main principle, they say, very beautiful one, devotee says, every human being is open to suggestion. He can hear, he can understand, and is open to suggestion. You cannot say there is one person who is not open to suggestion. Everybody is open to suggestion. To the degree you can, because you cannot expose everything, something you can tell him and leave it. Let him take few days and digest that, and then tell something. Slowly we can convince every living entity into Krishna consciousness. Okay, so this is actually Krishna has already done work. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that please go and spread this message, because he knows it is possible. He said, there is nobody dear to me than he who does it. Is it that Krishna is giving an impossible task? No, it is possible. Actually, Prabhupada says preaching means war. Preaching means war. But Arjuna's war was different. Throwing arrows and all. Not that kind of war. But there is a war against false arguments. There is a war against lethargy to serve Krishna. There is a war. You are convincing somebody to take up to Krishna consciousness. There is a war. There is a war against Maya. There is a war against so many ways we can see that we are at war. We cannot think we are not at war. We are all at war. And Maya is also in that way a war with us. The battle is constantly going on. Every day there is a battle between you and the Maya. Constant. But they say sometimes battles may be lost, war should be won. Sometimes the Maya may trick you little. Then you understand. Okay. Take you to task now. And Deva Prabhupada, this is a chant Hare Krishna and fight. Fight with what? With Maya. Take it, that is constantly going on. Okay. So now coming back to this situation where they are preaching. Let us look at the content of the preaching. It says that there are various things. What are the various things? Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kammano, Buddhi, Evacha, Ahankara, Itiyam, Ve, Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. The volume. So there are 8 energies. Take it? Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. And then what happens next? He says, Aparas itastu anyam. Prakriti vidhi me param. Jiva bhuta mahabhavo. Yayedam dharate jagat. He says, apart from this energy, apare. Apare means lower. Para means higher. Correct? Paropkar. Apara. Beyond this 8 inferior energy, aparas itastu anyam. There is another energy. Prakriti. Aparas itastu anyam. Prakriti vidhi me param. You know it from me. Krishna is telling there is one more energy. Unfortunately, scientists don't want to know from Krishna. Actually, when a great expert is there, we should take advantage. In science also, there are so many things we have not proven. Now we are proving them. But we accepted them when they were given by an authority. That's how it works. When you go to the college, not everything is proven now. That's the way to learn. You hear from an authority. Okay. But tomorrow it will become evident. Prakriti vidhi me param. Krishna says, note from me, there is aparas itastu anyam prakriti vidhi me param. He said there is a higher energy. What is that? Jiva bhuta. The living entity. Jiva bhuta mahabhavo yedam dharate jagat. The previous shloka also bhuta, bhuteshu, bhuta. So many words of living entity. It's a poetry was used. So Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo Dayedam Dharate Jagat. It says that this living entity is sustaining this world. So the material world does not move without the living entity. Yedam Dharate Jagat. Actually, the Newton's laws are incorrect unless you add the living entity. What is the first law? Inertia. Law of inertia. Everything continues to be in a stage of rest or in motion with the same speed unless you disturb. Who disturbs? Somebody disturbs. What is somebody? Living entity. It's incomplete actually. Then what is the second one? The momentum. The force is equal to mass into acceleration. So amount of force that is put, that will give you proportionally mass into acceleration. Put by whom? Put by whom? It's incomplete. You see that they're only avoiding, they're not completing the picture. What is the third one? Action equal to reaction. Very good. Laws of karma. But anyway, action equal to reaction. Action put by whom? The living entity. We sometimes use this for explaining laws of karma. So now, actually, if you see even if you study physics, and if you study very carefully, in fact, this came by Aristotle. Aristotle was a good philosopher. Something he figured out to write, because he speculated without a guru. So therefore, when you don't have a guru, something's really right, something really wrong. Prabhupada has given a nice discussion on each of the Western philosophers. What they were saying is correct, what they said is wrong. So what does he say? He says that I see that things have inertia to move. Correct? He identifies inertia in a different way. Things don't move. They just lie there unless you push. But we see in this world things are moving. That means somebody has pushed. So there should be somebody who is unpushable pusher. You got it? If equal reaction, I push, I also fly in another direction. Then I cannot do much. There should be some unmovable mover who has pushed all the things into motion. And who is that? He put a question. Newton came into the picture. Even though Newton was a God believer, it became a riddle and things were like unsolved. Science can't start now. He said, what we have to do, who is that mover? Things are moving, no? So use the laws. Just like you go to city center. You don't find the cashier. Anyway, take the items and get out. What you have to do? Who has put it? So similarly, laws are there in this world, use it. But who created the laws? Which are so specific. Always law means lawmaker. The precise laws which govern everything. Okay, so therefore, there is some kind of a disconnection we do of energy from energetic. When we see now these two forms of energy, Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam, Mano, Buddhi, Evacha, Ahankara, Iti, Ame, Bhina, Prakriti, Ashtata, inferior energy. And we see the superior energy, the living entity. The question should be, whose energy they are? Because energy on its own doesn't have a meaning. Correct? Just like you look at sunshine, immediately the question is, from where it is coming? Who is the energetic personality? Okay? If we have energy, means there should be energetic behind. We have sunshine, there has to be sun behind. It cannot be independent. So we see so much energy which we are utilizing. We should understand this energy comes from where? That is God. Okay? Krishna is declaring that in the Bhagavad Gita. Both the material and spiritual energies come from me. And that is the definition of God. What is the definition of God? Aham sarvasya prabhava. Correct? Janmadi asyataha, the source from which everything has come. So Krishna says, yes, I am that source from which all energies come, material and spiritual. So in this way we can understand that the material creation is done by the Lord. And it says a shloka that actually even though Krishna creates a material world, he is not very excited about this world. He is excited for the purpose. He has put us with a great purpose for us to reclaim it. But other side, our activities, he is not very excited. He knows that it is not activities for or not, because it is temporary. In the spiritual world, everything is eternal. But material world, things are temporary. When Krishna knows both, will it give value to the temporary? Just like you have a house in the city which is permanent comparatively, and you go to the beach and you're making that something we make. Are you very attached? One way it will go. It's temporary. So you're not very excited about it. Somebody may, with small children, sometimes become very excited. Oh, no, this is happening, this is happening. Parents know, okay, one more wave, just waiting, another wave it will go. So they're not very excited. So the materialists are very excited about so much transformation of matter they are doing. Now new skyscraper has come, this road has come, this highway. Krishna is not very excited about that. He is excited about if you are taking his message very clearly and coming back from this world. As such, because this world is in a flux, is in a stage of transformation, because it is temporary, the world does not excite Krishna so much. What excites Krishna is the spiritual world, where it is permanent. The material world, things are moving, they are transforming, and Krishna is, that's what it says, Just like children at the beach may do so many activities, but they not feel very excited. If they know it is temporary, it's just for time pass. They know for time pass. I think in beach, you have done it. You made houses on the beach. Nobody has done, no? Here, you have done. Made house, so many things on the beach. And when you know, maybe when you're small children, we are very excited. But as you grow up little, we know this is temporary. And parents always know, let them spend some time. So similarly, Krishna is watching. I know we are very excited. He's smiling. Okay, this is over. Okay, big house is over. Very good. He is smiling. It's temporary. He knows it's just a matter of time. You will be in another situation. You will be in another situation. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so we may be thinking very big. Our activities will become, well, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Either our some achievement or either some loss that we are having. Or Krishna is indifferent to all that because it is material. Krishna is never under any kind of illusion. And he is waiting for us to understand this truth. And he is explaining. Here it is explaining through his great devotee, Angira Rishi. Now another Narada Muni will come. They are instructing Chitraketu. And if you think of ourselves, we're neither Angira, but we're more like Chitraketu. Chitraketu was also pious. Very pious person. You're not even but at least you are like Chitraketu. And these instructions are meant for actually for us. We can also take benefit because after hearing these instructions, Chitraketu became self-realized. Correct? He developed urge for self-realization. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.